I will make $1 million this year with YouTube. Here's how. So I'm about to do something that I honestly don't think any other content agency owner has done before. And it's either going to make me look like a complete genius like Albert Einstein over here, or it's going to make me look like a fraud like this soy boy over here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to build my entire $1 million YouTube strategy live right here in this video, and then I'm going to execute every single thing I show you over the next 12 months. Now, here's the thing, right? I run a content agency that helps people who sell, a high ticket info product, coaches, basically just course sellers, scale to 6 and 7 figures using YouTube. We've gotten incredible results for our clients, but I've never actually done this for myself, and honestly, that is pretty suspect. But I mean, as you guys can see here, client results, my boy Grant did 48K in 5 days off of YouTube. Hudson Cosper, that's one of the Instagram ones, helped him go from 4K to 40K in 5 months. That's us hitting, that's us again hitting 40K with Hudson. Some results for Grant when I went on an absolute generational run with Alex Sedlak. Free course video we did for Cardinal Mason, absolutely ripped. I digress, like there's so many, but most content agencies, they promise their clients 20 to 30 qualified calls per month from YouTube, but they don't even have their own YouTube channels. Like if you're promising me 20 to 30 qualified calls a month, why don't you just do it for yourself and you'll be getting calls, right? It's like a personal trainer who's fat as fuck telling you how to get abs and get girls. Like it just doesn't make sense, right? And basically, my goal in 2026 is to scale my agency to $100,000 per month, which is $1.2 million per year. And I'm going to do that by finally practicing what I preach and building my own YouTube system, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do it. We're going to be doing competitor research live. We're going to figure out my unique positioning. We're going to plan my content strategy, and we're going to set up the systems that will actually make sure that, I'm consistent with this and this happens. The exact systems that, I set up for my clients. And the best part is you're going to get to watch like all of this unfold over the next year. It's currently Wednesday, April 22nd of me recording this. And you guys are literally going to, because I'm going to be executing on this plan for pretty much the rest of the year. And you guys are going to see that live in action. So, but anyway, before we get into that, why haven't I done this before? It's a pretty good question. So to be completely honest about why I haven't been, well, I have started my own channel, but why I haven't been consistent with it until now is it's a mix of a few things. And the reason I'm even sharing this is because I think a lot of you watching this, especially if you're selling an info product, like a lot of you can relate to this. Like one, I've been so focused on getting, results for my clients that I've never prioritized my own content. Like, classic case of the Colbert children having no shoes, as you can see here again, one of the results I got for bronze. And then two, I actually had the same objections that a lot of my clients have when they first come to me. I don't have time to create content. I don't know what to post. What if it doesn't work? All of that. But, here's the reality, right? If I don't start posting content, my competitors are going to fly past me because they're going to be seen by more people. And more importantly, I can't keep selling a service that I'm not using myself. It just doesn't make sense. Like most content agencies in this space don't practice what they preach, right? They'll promise you 20 qualified calls per month from YouTube while their own YouTube channel has 12 subscribers and their last video was posted 8 months ago. And that's going to end today on my side. But yeah, so let's get into the actual strategy, right? So let me break down exactly how I'm going to use YouTube to scale my agency to 100K per month. Math is pretty simple, right? So my offer is a done-for-you YouTube / we also do Instagram service that ranges from about 2,500 to 5.5K per month. If I can book 30 qualified sales calls per month from YouTube and close even 20% of them, which is very, very conservative, at an average of, let's say, a 4K per month retainer, that's 24K in new monthly recurring revenue, right? But here's the thing. YouTube leads are very, very different from other type of leads. That's why I said that's very, very conservative, right? When someone finds you through your content, they've already consumed your value, they understand your expertise, and they're pre-qualified. These leads convert at much higher rates than just pure cold traffic, right? And every video I post becomes a sales asset. Like the video I posted a month ago, the Grant case study, I've sent that to every single person that's booked a sales call. They've all watched it. They've all showed up to the call, qualified, a lot more educated, and it's made the close so much easier. I've closed like pretty much 70 to 80% of the people who watched the video before the call, right? The ones that I didn't close were unqualified. They didn't have the money. So yeah, Every video I create will become a sales asset. When someone books a call, I can send them specific videos that address their exact situation and objections. This is going to dramatically improve my close rate, right? And the best part about YouTube is that it's digital real estate. These videos will be working for me 24/7 for years to come. Another example from that Grand case study video I posted a month ago. I had someone book a sales call from it fucking last week. He watched my video and then he messaged me and then he booked the call, right? And I posted that a month ago. All it takes is one video to show up to the right person's homepage. And yeah, all it takes is one video to show up on the right person's homepage for me to sign a $5,000 per month client. It's fucking insane. I don't know why more people do not post on YouTube. But anyway, live strategy, competitor research. So the first thing I need to do is understand what's already working in my market. So let me pull up some of the biggest content agencies and see what they're doing. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. He has a personal channel where he kind of posts vlogs more. Oh, these are doing really, really well. So this is actually something to look at too as well, especially if he wants to launch info. This is probably going to fucking rip for him. So I should probably start, because I also have footage for my vlogs. So I should start ripping that. This is me doing like live competitor research. This is something to look at. Let's see. So already like off the bat, I know Nate is my biggest competitor, absolute G. I've spoken to him a few times. But you can see his YouTube is quite optimized. Like he has a start here, you know, videos that we probably send prospects for pre-calls. These are all really good. I need to, as I start posting more, I need to start doing this. Content cash media case studies. He has a bunch of client interviews. I think, yeah, the Brez one absolutely fucking ripped. I have a few big clients similar to Brez, so I should probably start doing a lot more fucking interviews with my clients. And then let's see what actual videos he's been doing. Okay, hasn't really been that consistent as of late. Interviews, case study videos, case study videos, case study videos. Myra strategy, actually quite similar to me. So, oh, and a similar video idea here. I think that was a coaching call with a client. That's fire. But yeah, Nate is doing mainly, case study breakdowns for clients and then also client interviews. Very, very interesting. So honestly, Nate is my biggest competitor. If we want to go look at absolute fucking OG in the space. Yeah, again, he's doing a lot of, his YouTube homepage is also fucking optimized. That's super, super important. I can see. And then, okay, he hasn't really been posting for a while. It makes sense. He gets a lot of client from referrals, but again, he does do info too as well. But some of these are for the agency. Same thing, Miro board formats, case study breakdowns, how much YouTube, this is framed really, really good. How to make videos, this is fucking amazing. This is for info, but this is also quite fucking good. Nice. And then just client interviews. So I'll keep it at that, just because I've done a lot of other deep competitor research. But yeah, I mean, I know both Nate and Prezi are doing multiple six figures a month. And, you know, looking at their channels, it's quite simple. They're doing case study breakdowns, they're doing client interviews. So very good bottom of funnel content. And it actually does make sense, right? Because the ICP we're speaking to, like, they don't really need to watch like all of this top of funnel bullshit, right? They just want to see, you know, what we do, what are our client results, what are we good at, what is the exact process like we're going to take them to get them results. So that's already some pretty good info. Obviously, I'm not going as deep for myself as I usually would for my clients, just because I already have such a good understanding of my market. But you know, you always want to look at competitors. You want to see what's working for them. You want to make sure like the competitors you're looking at actually make money too. But, and this is the important part, you need to, you can't just copy them, because if you copy them, even if your stuff does well, you're at least just going to be a copy of them, right? You need to take inspiration. You need to eventually like try and make your own format and your own lane that other people copy from. So when they see that, they're gonna be like, yo, that's Raphael's format, not that's fucking, like, for example, I'm doing a Miro board video right now. Who created the Miro board format video? Nick Setting, right? So someone's gonna watch this and be like, oh, this guy's doing the Nick Setting Miro style. And obviously I'm doing it because it works, but eventually I want to, you know, start adding a bit more of my personality to the point where I create my own format. And then, because that's how you really start to own the market. This is a bit of a tangent and it's fine, because I said this video is going to be a bit raw, but that's just one thing to keep in mind. So yes, take inspiration from your competitors 100%, but do not just copy them. We want to be unique, right? So how are we going to be unique? Well, guess what? I'm going to show you that. I don't know what is going on, but I'll say sure for that. So yeah, I already did like write some of this down already when I did some competitor research earlier, but yeah, looking at some of the top content agencies in the space, I'm noticing, like, I'm not saying basic, okay, their videos are quite good. They are doing case study videos, but they're pretty boring, right? It's just them going through a document or a Miro board saying, here's what we did for this client. A lot of them are making educational content, so this isn't like a shout to Nate and Prezi. These are some other competitors I looked at, but, it's very surface level. This is another thing too as well that I saw when I was doing, I'm not going to go and watch another fucking video throughout this video. Of a competitor, but a lot of content agencies make videos where they give value, but it doesn't speak to an info product business owner. It's either too surface level or it's too in depth. Either it's not actionable. You want to be making actionable videos, and that's kind of like your top of funnel, right? Like if you want to do these next 5 YouTube videos, if you're launching a web, like random fucking idea, right? But you want to make videos that are actionable, that someone can watch and, take what you said and implement it immediately and get a quick win. So she got a quick result. I'm going to check my phone real quick. Okay, there's no one blowing up my phone. That's great. You don't want to make it too surface level to the point where it's boring advice, but you don't want to make it too in depth too, where there's nothing they can actually go and implement. And that's what I noticed with a lot of other content agencies in the space. It's like way too surface level. It's like really, really fucking, whatchamacallit, like stuff people already know, or it's too in depth to the point where the business owner watching it can't implement it. Like, oh, that's cool, because you still want to give value, right? But anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Yeah, they're not going deep into strategy or showing the actual process. Over that. This is a good one. This is what I saw, and this is what I'm going to show you guys, which is, I think, will be an absolutely fucking sick format. But very few of them are showing the behind-the-scenes content or the actual work with the clients, and most importantly, a lot of them aren't even posting consistently on their own channels, which, proves my point about agencies not practicing what they preach. And this gives me a huge opportunity to differentiate myself because, at the same time, I kind of have been making these, same mistakes that I'm calling out here, but I can see that. And what I can see is, I can see a gap, okay? This is very, very important. You want to look at, of course, outliers. You want to look at what's working, but you want to also identify a gap, something in the market that hasn't been served yet. And then if you can combine that with, an outlier video and a gap you see in the market that has been underserved, and you can combine them, you can get an absolute banger fucking video. It might not make sense at the moment, but you're going to see what I mean in just a second. We know it works. We know it's getting clients because, both Nate and Presley are making well over 6 figures a month. And, their videos are working. They're doing case study breakdowns. They're doing client interviews. So, but we don't want to just copy them. We want to be unique. We want to find our own format. And how do we do that? We do that by, taking inspiration, making it unique to us. And how do we do that? We find our own unique positioning, right? Now, I need to figure out what makes me different from every other content agency out there. So, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to walk through this live because I think this, process will be valuable for you guys too. Maybe you can take away from this video. Maybe I'll give away like the exact prompts of the Claude chat that I did in this video so you guys can do this too as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some key positioning questions. What results have I achieved that others haven't? Okay, that's a big thing. You want to leverage your results. What's my unique approach or methodology, right? The way that I create content for my clients is very different to the way that everyone else creates content for their clients, right? It's not very copy paste. I take pride in the fact that my agency is very, very one-to-one with our clients. Like literally, my clients FaceTime me every single day whenever something is up. We're always exploring new ideas. We're always scheming. I don't think a lot of agencies do that, right? What do I believe that others don't? That's something to emphasize in content. What can I prove that others can't? So let me work through these. So I already kind of did answer some of these. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through all of this, and then we're going to put all of this into Claude, and then we're going to get our unique positioning, and then we're going to work off of that. Okay. So first things first, what results have I achieved that others haven't? So I've worked with some, and still do, by the way, because a lot of people say I worked with XYZ, but regardless, they ended up doing just, fucking one video, and then they claim that, like, no. I've worked with some of the biggest names in the online business space. I still do actively work with a lot of them, right? I've helped, clients achieve absolutely incredible results with YouTube. Like the boy Mason here made an absolute banger free course video for him. I've also helped him. This is another thing I can leverage too as well. I've helped Mason with his ads. We don't anymore, but I have quite consistently in the past, and I do it for a lot of other big names in the space. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to go ahead and fucking leak my clients' ad accounts. I'm not going to post the ads we edited for them on Instagram or on YouTube. However, this is something that I can leverage in my content too as well, how to edit ads well, how to script ads, all of that. The other content agencies, you see, I'm looking for gaps. I'm looking for gaps that I can exploit and how I can make myself stand out, because there's a lot of fucking content agencies out there, So the ads is also but we'll come back to that later. But the ads is another thing too as well. edited ads for, you know, people like Casper SMC, Samir Mithwani, the biggest fucking e-com coach there is out there. A lot of big guys, and I haven't really put that online. So that's one thing I can also emphasize too as well. Hudson Cosper absolutely helped them rip on Instagram. As you can see here, we still do work together. I did his new VSL. We actually just finished that yesterday. Samuel Nua, I helped him with the MC page for Millionaire Columnist. I helped him with his VSLs for his webinar, helped him with a few ads. Grant Garcia, I've gotten absolutely fucking insane results for my boy Grant. Took him to 100K a month organic in February. Like, these are all stuff I can leverage. And I want you guys to understand, like, this is just a fraction. I've worked with so many other people too as well, and that's something I need to leverage in the content. So yeah, you know, most agencies work with smaller clients or they can't show proof of their results. I can do both. So that's something I need to show in my content. Second, my approach. Now, this is something I take pride in, a lot of pride. I don't just create random content. You know, I treat YouTube like a strategic. This is okay. This is how we fucking we ripped with Grant. So I'm gonna go off script for a bit, but with Grant, the issue that we ran into is that we realized, like, I'm going to be very, very transparent. When we started, it wasn't as good as it could have been. We were making random video ideas that was disjointed and didn't really make sense. So what we did is we took a step back. We really thought about, you know, who is our ICP, who are watching these videos. And, you know, we realized, as it is with YouTube, someone isn't just going to watch one video. They're going to watch a series of them. And if they feel disjointed, it's not going to make sense. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to take our viewers on a journey that, you know, made sense and dispelled all of their fucking objections. Like I said here, we don't just create random content. I treat YouTube like a strategic funnel where every video serves a specific purpose in moving viewers towards becoming clients, right? But towards booking a sales call and fucking piffing you so you can buy a baby blue C8 Corvette, right? Most agencies just post whatever they think will get views. Let me show you how we did this for Grant. We went on the absolute fucking run we did in February. Still are going on a run, by the way, but I'll show you guys it for February. So as you can see, this is also the beautiful thing about YouTube. These weren't doing too well. These are the first videos we started, but because, you know, we stay consistent, we keep posting, all of them ended up getting views. And I know it's going to be the same thing on my channel and the same exact thing with my clients. That's why I tell them content is not a 1 month game. It's a long-term game. Guess what, motherfucker? These videos are digital real estate. They will make you money. It might not be immediately, but it will be eventually. You just need to keep posting to show the algorithm that you're consistent. And once you get a runner, guess what? Everything else runs too as well. But let me show you guys. So, you know, these weren't doing too well. We decided to take a step back and we were kind of making random videos, right? There were a few older ones that we archived, so I can't really show you how it was random, but you can see here, we did a free course, then we did like a funnel breakdown. Like, it just doesn't make sense, like, sequentially, which I'll explain in a bit. Okay, bang. We took a step back. We did some more research. We saw what questions does our ICP have? So they were probably curious about the model. Like, what even is growth operating? Can it make me money? Bang. This explains the business model, how I make 800K doing growth operating, how I'm doing. Again, bang, absolute outlier, right? And then we also tested a different format. We first started with like edited talking heads, saw it wasn't really doing the best. So we decided, okay, let's try Myra's. Myra seems to be working. We did that, absolutely ripped. Then, you know, someone after watching this, naturally the next question would be, okay, this model is great. How do I get clients for it? Bang, show them how to get clients. Here in the middle, we experimented with something, right? Grant gets a lot of leads of people who, you know, are in high ticket sales and they want to start growth operating because they feel capped with their ceiling. So this video explains exactly, it compares a bit, it speaks exactly to them. It speaks to an affluent audience. It's something that you can send to ad leads. It's not part of the sequential funnel, but it's okay. It served its purpose and it does well. Like, every ad lead that Grant gets that is in high ticket sales, he sends them this and it helps them close, right? Okay, but bang, how do I get clients? Now they're asking, okay, like, I know how to get clients, but like with this model, I need to actually get them results to make money. How do I do that? Bang, this is our most popular video to this date. I put fucking 6 hours into scripting this video. I script the long form videos for all my clients ourselves, and it absolutely ripped because this is the biggest question like everyone has in growth operating. Like, how the fuck do I actually get my clients results? And, you know, we could have, this is also why, you know, I'm just so proud of how, like, one-to-one we work with our clients. We could have just made a normal video where it's like, hey, you can do this, you can do that, but they still would have thought like, okay, but that's a lot of work. But guess what, fucker? Grant uses AI in absolutely everything he does and gets absolutely the same results. And you can use AI too to do 90% of the work. And then we use that as our unique angle. It absolutely fucking ripped. And then afterwards, this was strategic. We posted a student interview who was and then we showed that the system actually works for people just like them, right? So explain the business model, show them how to get clients, show them how to deliver for those clients, show them that it works for someone just like them. And that's how we did 100K a month off of YouTube in February. Every single video made sense. Every single video served its purpose. And then, you might be thinking, okay, but that's like a one-time thing. How do I run it every single month? Well, guess what? You just restart it. You keep looking at the market. You keep finding new ideas. You keep doubling down. How did we double down? We saw that here, the AI angle is really working. People fucking love that. So we doubled down. We answered another question. Okay, we show them all of this, but then they might not really like. Another important thing about this is also why it's so important to look at the market. Like I was looking at the market, I was doing YouTube research. I saw no one has a fucking actual good. Well, there were one or two, and they performed well. There were two videos about. I think one was from Pierre, the other one was Jay's. How to do a growth operating launch for a client. But none of them spoke about AI, and we saw that AI was doing really good for us. So like, let's make a fucking, and let's challenge. We did this. This is actually a really good video idea. We did it live. Grant did it live in the video where he built like a 10K a month growth operating launch with AI. And as you can see here, that has to be ripped. And then, okay, we saw another outlier. We tested that, didn't really do too well, but then we kept going, okay? Now I realized here we showed them how to get clients like the normal way with standard outreach. We never showed them how to do it with AI. And then we did it with AI. As you guys can see here, obviously it doesn't look as crazy anymore because the channel's like stats have sort of adjusted, but I want you guys to really understand when Grant came to me, he had 2 videos on his channel. When we started posting, we were averaging like around 200 views a video, and now 1K is our fucking average. Like 1K is bad. So yeah, that's an example, and that's something to leverage in my content, right? I'm very, very one-to-one with my clients, and everything is strategic. It's not just fucking random, okay? It's not just, we don't just see an outlier and we copy it. We make it unique to us like we did with Grant. Grant is very, very good with AI for his actual growth operating business where he's made a lot of money, and then we showcase that, right? And then we also made sure it wasn't a random video idea that no one's gonna watch. We made sure it was proven in the market, and now we own the fucking angle of AI growth operating, right? But yeah, third, like I said, I believe in creating content that flows together like a story. Each video naturally leads to the next one. This is also something you need to understand. YouTube is going to promote your videos more if they see people are binge watching, not if they're clicking off the platform. So we need to make it really, really easy for them to binge by making sure each video naturally flows into the next one, right? And, I'm about to prove that my method works by using it on myself and documenting the entire process. So let me put this into AI to help refine my positioning, right? And I'm so sorry, but I realized I already did put this into AI. So for the sake of time, both yours and mine, yeah, this is the prompt I got. The unique positioning, we're the only content agency that treats YouTube like a strategic sales funnel, not a random content dump. And, I'm also proving it by scaling my own agency to 100K a month using the exact same system I use for my clients. Bang. Boom. If you want to do this for yourself, you just go ahead and you'll answer all of these questions. What results have I achieved that others haven't? What's unique about my approach and my methodology? Very, very important. What do I believe that others don't? What can I prove that others can't, right? These 2 questions here feed into these ones. But yeah, answer those, you'll get your unique positioning, and then you'll know how to stand out. But also keep in mind that it'll evolve as you keep posting. Like with Grant's, first we were just growth operating. He has an amazing growth operating agency, monetized, he's done some insane stuff. So, mainly at first we were focusing on the results there, but then everyone else was doing that. But then, we saw that the AI angle here worked really, really well. And, that's something that actually does. We were not fucking bullshitting. And then we went all in with that. And then as you guys can see, we just fucking kept ripping, right? So that's something, your position is also something that will evolve. But yeah, content strategy, taking what works and makes it better. So let's get into the actual strategy. What type of videos am I going to post? Because I know I've been yapping a bit. We found what works, but I haven't really explained to you like the gap and how am I going to make it uniquely me. But now we have the positioning. So yeah, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to take what's working and make it uniquely mine. And how am I going to do this is I'm going to have 4 main content pillars, right? 4 of them that I'm going to pull from to make ideas. And you should do this as well for your guys' channel. Just make 4 pillars, whether it's breakdowns, tutorials, client interviews, case study breakdowns, behind the scenes, like whatever it may be, have that, and then you can use that to pull ideas from infinitely, like case study content, right? Every time one of my clients gets a good results, I can make a case study video about it. Educational content with strategic depth, right? I can explain my exact service A to Z. I can make a full free course video that's really, really good, and then I can break everything down into different points and make separate videos about that. Behind the scenes content, right? But we'll get into this in a sec because this is a gap I was speaking about. And then, industry commentary, another thing too as well. But yeah, let's get into the 4 main pillars. So case study content, but better. Instead of the boring case study breakdowns where I just go through a document, I'm going to switch it up and also test ones where I do vlog style case studies. For example, I just brought on a client that I'm very, very confident we can scale to 100K a month organic through YouTube in a month. I am very, very confident. And, instead of just doing that, getting the result, making a Miro, and then, just fucking going over the thing, which I'm sure would work well and would convert, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to create a challenge video called Watch Me Speedrun 100K a month YouTube channel in 30 days. This takes, and this is intentional by the way, guys, this takes a popular speedrun format that I've seen work well in other niches, and I apply it to my space, right? Taking a format that's working, combining it with another one that's working in my space, and then bang, you know? But yeah, this video will be part educational, part behind the scenes. And it's really, really good proof content because, like, let's be honest, nowadays everyone has case studies. Everyone has case studies that have been inflated, and prospects have still been burned by those agencies with like the best case studies. So, you know, it's really, really important that you have videos that show like exactly what your client's going to get, right? That you have a proven system that can actually get results. Not just showing the result, but showing the system that gets the result. So yeah, this video will be part educational, part behind the scenes, showing exactly how I work with clients and the strategies I implement. I can do this for literally every fucking new client I bring on, right? And, you know, I can mix it up since obviously the vlog's going to take a while to film, but I can also do the case study videos like the normal ones that work for some smaller results. Like maybe one of, like, for example, one of my clients, Scott, the first 2 YouTube videos we did for him, he closed 20K in B2C, and then he closed one B2B rev share deal. So he actually made a lot more than 20K, but I can make a normal case study breakdown around that. And then, you know, I can make the vlog style about, you know, us actually scaling Scott's channel to 100K a month organic, if that makes sense. And then, you know, educational content with strategic depth. I'm going to create educational content that goes way deeper than what others are doing. Instead of surface level tips, I'm going to show my actual frameworks, research processes, and strategic thinking, and also show it in a way that's easy to implement, not just technical jargon, right? For example, I might do a video called How I Research and Plan 30 Days of Content in 2 hours, where I show my actual process for, I look chopped as fuck in this thumbnail. Holy shit, I do not look like that, chat. I literally, that is different person. But, you know, where I actually show my process for content ideation and planning, I go in depth, but I show that there's, like, you know, it's actionable, right? Someone could watch that video and go ahead and apply what I showed too. And then behind the scenes content, you know, this is where I can really differentiate myself. And I think this is something that I'm so excited to do. Like, I can post full on. I've had fucking calls with my clients where, you know, they've just come on, they're just starting info, they need our help, like actually building out, you know, their entire positioning, not just the fucking content strategy, that are absolute fuck. I can use this for short form too. Absolute fucking sauce, right? I'm going to be posting client calls, strategy sessions, also sessions with my team. The next video after this is going to be with my COO. He was the former head of content for Jacob Levenrad. He ran up Jacob to the, and 637 and a few other clients to the absolute fucking moon. I know my short form is lacking right now. I am quite good with short form. We have some good case studies, but not as good as it could be, right? He's much better than me. And we're going to do a fucking video where we build my $100 million Instagram strategy from absolute scratch and basically take that shit to the moon, right? And that's a, you know, that's something that I can post on YouTube, and it's something you guys can do too as well, right? Especially if you're in high ticket sales, like you can post coaching calls, you can post call reviews, you can post closing calls. I just used the high ticket sales example because I thought of one of my clients. But, you know, you don't need to just do these scripted videos. People really love the authentic stuff. And, you know, you can just go ahead and post these. Obviously, make sure like nothing is leaked. But this is where you can really differentiate yourself, because people buy from people, and it's usually people they like, and people want to see your personality, right? Not just fucking scripted video. But yeah, this builds trust because people can see exactly how I work and what it's like to work with me. A really, really good example of someone who does this, someone I worked with a very long time ago too as well, is Sue. His videos are absolutely fucking amazing, and that's because they're authentic and because he shows everything, right? And then 4, you know, just industry commentary. This is what helps you become authority. You call out the BS in the content agency space. That's what you call out the BS in your space. That's what I'm going to do in the content agency space. You know, my contrarian takes on what actually works. This is what people thinks works. And, you know, exactly like the exact type of format we did for our boy Grant that got people switching from high ticket sales to doing growth operating, right? That's an example. And then this is how much he closed from YouTube, one of them. Anyway, but yeah, life strategy build. So solving my own objections. At the end of the day, a strategy is only as good as, you know, it's not going to be any fucking good if it's not executed, right? So let me solve my objections, and the same objections you guys probably have too as well. I don't have time to create content. Solution: time blocking, right? I'm going to dedicate every Saturday to filming content. I'll batch 2 to 4 videos in one session. And then throughout the week, you know, I'll just spend Tuesday evenings scriptings, Thursday evenings on post-production planning. It's really, really that simple. And if you work with me, guess what? It's even simple. It's even better. With all of our clients, we send them scripts on Wednesdays along with the Myros. Thursdays to Fridays, they have that entire window to review and for us to make any revisions on the Myro. Then it's ready for them to film on Saturday, over to the editing team on Sunday, and then it's all done, right? But in my case, since I'm still going to be scripting my stuff, it's really just time blocking, right? I'm probably going to start with one YouTube video a week just to build up that consistency. Because at first I said I wanted to do two, but then I never ended up doing two. And then I spoke to my CBO. He said it's better if you start with one because there's no excuse for not doing one. Like it's just one YouTube video, right? And you just need a time block. That is really it. And then just hire a team, just hire me, bro. But anyway, yeah, time blocks. I don't know what to post. Bang. Create a content research system. Every week, I'll spend 30 minutes researching what's working in my space, what questions my audience are asking. You can figure this out by looking at the comments of your competitors' videos. Those are really, really good videos to make videos about. And then as you start posting, also look at your own comments and what gaps exist in my market. And then, objection date, what if I'm not consistent? Well, I'm going to treat this like a client project, right? I'm going to set up the exact same systems and accountability measures that I use for my clients to make sure that they actually film, right? And they actually get shit done. Bang. All of the objections obliterated, right? Absolutely all of them. And all I had to do was just make a decision to commit. That is pretty much it. Would be a lot more easier if I had, if I was able to hire my fucking clone to do all of this for me, but you can do that, I can't. But anyway, content calendar framework. So let's talk about the posting schedule and content planning. I want to do 2 videos per week, 8 per month. Reason I want to do that is my channel hasn't really been that active, right? And I want to break that static friction. I know I said just earlier that I was going to do 1 video a week, but fuck that. We'll do 2. I made this Myro before I had the conversation with my CBO where he said to do 1, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll do 2. Let's do 2. And the reason why also, it really does depend, right? If you do have a lot more time to put into content, I would really recommend 2, especially if your channel's been sitting for a while, because that is a really, really good cadence to build, to break the static friction, to show the algorithm that you're consistent and start making money as soon as possible. If you have a little less time, you can do 1 a week. Really, really easy to stay consistent with, and you'll get some good data to actually see what's working. But yes, 2 YouTube videos per week, 8 per month. How am I going to structure it? Week 1, week 2. So it's important to have this. So, like when it's Tuesday and I want to script, I'm not scratching my head thinking what fucking ideas am I going to do. I just know what pillar to pull from, right? And then for research, I'm going to use a combination of, competitor analysis to see what's working, audience research to understand the questions and pain points. Another good way of doing this is asking polls on your Instagram story. I can't do that because my Instagram is filled with my day ones. So they're probably just going to ask a bunch of bullshit. But, you can do this on sales calls. You can feed your sales calls into Claude. You can look at competitors' comments. You can look at your comments on YouTube. Market gap analysis to find topics that aren't being covered well, just like I did for the boy Grant, where I found, that there was no good growth operating launch video. And then, performance analysis of my own content to double down on what works. So as an example, right? If we go over here to my channel, we can see this video I did is a 5.7x outlier. And it's a full breakdown video. It does so much better than, the rest of my videos, which are just case study breakdowns. This one wasn't a case study breakdown. It was a full talking head. But, I can see here that Myro format is working really, really well for my channel. And also, so are longer videos. This one's much longer than all of the others. So I should do more of those, right? That's what I'm going to keep on doing. And then systems. So how do I make sure I'm actually accountable with this? The key to making this work, having the right systems in place. Here's what I'm setting up. So obviously, system, the actual content creation system, batch filming on Saturdays, we already went over that. And then another good thing is just daily research. That's what I do for all my clients. I always want to be informed on the market. So always you looking at YouTube daily. That's what I do anyway. It's just adding my stuff on top of that. Performance tracking. So we have, I'll just have the tracker in our agency do that, the tracking team. But weekly analytics review, monthly strategy adjust. This is everything I do for my clients. I'm basically just going to be doing it for myself. Weekly analytics, monthly strategy adjustments, and then, just a quarterly deep dive every 3 months. Bang. And then, pipeline. This is important, something I stress with my clients too as well. We never want to be week by week with stuff. We always want to have something in advance. So this is actually, when I bring on a new client, I have the first 2 scripts. If it's YouTube, ready on the onboarding call. If it's short form, we'll have the first week of short form ready. So we bang, they're already good to go. And then, we just send new ones every single week so that they're able to, work in advance, right? We don't want to be week by posting. We want to have a bit of a buffer that gives us a bit of breathing room, right? So that's what I'm going to do. The exact same thing for myself. And then lead gen, how do I make sure that, these videos actually make me money? Very, very simple. Clear CTAs. Content that speaks to an affluent audience, that speaks to my ICP, not bullshit. I'm not going to do vlogs on this channel. If I want to do vlogs, it'll be a separate channel because that's a completely different ICP. And then, just this is more on the back end. We don't need to go over that. But I want to go over CTAs too specifically because this is important. So obviously, you want to do your main CTA in the outro, but not everyone's going to watch up until the outro. So the way I structure it and the way I run it with my clients is one really like quick and simple one within the first 2 minutes of the video. Catches pretty much everyone. The ones that clicked off probably weren't serious anyway. Then we do one in the middle of the video. Actually, no, a bit before that, like 40 to 50% around there. That catches people who don't watch up until the end, but are still serious buyers. And then we just do one big one at the end in the outro. And if it's a longer video, like an hour-long one, just add one extra one before the outro. I know it seems like a lot of CTAs, but like the only one that's really, really direct is the one in the outro. Like the one in the first 2 minutes is just like, check the link out of this. If you want to skip all of this and work with me, check out the link in the description. The one in the middle, like, always relates back to the video, so it doesn't seem like a just random pitch. And then the one at the end is direct. It's like, I think you guys know what I mean. But yeah, and then okay, timeline, what to expect. So month 1 to 2, most important thing from month 1 to 2 is always just fucking make sure you're consistent, right? Lock in your consistency. Obviously, you'll find your voice and style as you lock in your consistency, as you get in the rhythm of filming, as you get better on camera. Goal 500 subscribers, average 1K views per video. Month 3 to 4, okay, this is when things really start kicking in. That's when momentum starts building, content starts getting traction, first qualified lead. The thing is with YouTube, there's nuance, right? I know I said first qualified leads start coming in because you want to be conservative, because you don't want to have like super, super high expectations for month 1 and then nothing happens and you don't want to do content again. But the Smire is a bit old, but if you go through my Instagram, you can see a lot of my clients have gotten really, really good results from our first few videos. So there is a bit of nuance here, but the reason why I'm always conservative with setting the expectation is content is a long-term game, and if you can play it long-term, you're always going to win no matter what. So the most important thing is that you stay consistent. But yeah, month 3 to 4, momentum starts building. Goal 1,500 subscribers, average 2K views per video. Average views doesn't even fucking matter, to be honest, as long as we're booking calls, boys. I just wanted to set that there as a metric. Month 5 to 6, consistent qualified leads, start closing clients directly from content, scale up content production. I'm being very, very conservative with this, but the reason I am is because I can lock in my consistency. That's why. And then month 7 to 12, just scale and optimize. Bang. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Even if this doesn't pop off immediately, I'm not worried at all. These videos are digital real estate. They'll be working for me. This is another thing too. I saw someone say this in a tweet. So whoever you are, I give you homage. But you just need to keep existing. Like, you just need to keep existing online. And eventually you're going to win. Like, I've had people who followed me on Instagram for like 2 years hit me up just because I kept posting my client results and kept posting what I was doing with my agency. I remember it was my boy Isaac. He messaged me. He needed, he's a growth operator. He needed done for you content for one of his clients. I had known him for a year. We didn't really have much of a relationship since then. And he literally told me, yo, I need you for one of my clients' bill. And then he told me, like, this is what I tell everyone. The reason I message you is because I saw your Instagram story, but I didn't just see that one. I saw all the ones you posted before. And when I was finally ready, I knew that you were my guy because you just continued to pop up in my fucking mind. You were occupying space in my mind, right? So that's the thing. These videos are digital real estate. They'll be working for me and for you if you're consistent with YouTube 24/7 for years to come. All it takes is for one video to show up on the right person's homepage for me to sign a 5K per month client. That's all it takes. And if I'm posting 2 a week consistently for 3 months, guess what? I'm going to make a lot more than fucking $5,000. Anyway, why this will work, why this fail. So why am I actually, it's like, I'm sure as you guys can see, I'm really, really excited as I'm filming this. I love filming these YouTube videos. I should film them more. I will. But why am I so confident this strategy will work when, so many others fail at YouTube? Well, first, I'm not trying to go viral, right? I don't need to go viral. I'm just trying to attract the right people. I'd rather have 1,000 views from qualified prospects than 100,000 from random people who never buy. That means I just need to make a specific type of content that speaks to a specific type of person, and eventually they will find that. Second, I'm treating this like a business system, not a hobby, right? Clear goals, clear systems, and accountability measures in place. This isn't a fucking side project. I want to be a fucking content creator. I want to make money. I want to grow my business, and content is a big part of that. That's the same way you guys need to treat it, not just as a side thing. In 2026, you have to be posting content, right? I shot myself in the foot by not posting content and also not really documenting my journey, unfortunately. I've had a really, but I'll do that on the personal channel, more on that later. But, yeah. Like, you need to be posting content. Like, you need a personal brand in 2026. Like, it's a non-negotiable. And third, I'm leveraging my existing expertise, right? I'm not trying to become a YouTuber. I'm using it, as I explained, I'm using it as a tool to grow my existing business. Fourth, I'm being strategic about it. I'm not just posting random videos I thought of in the shower. Every video serves a specific purpose. I'm not just posting something random, hoping something sticks. And, There's an actual fucking strategy behind it, as I've shown you guys. And then finally, I'm committed to consistency, right? The biggest fucking reason most people fail at YouTube is they give up too early. I'm treating this as a 12-month minimum commitment, right? My most successful clients, the ones that get the best results, the ones that you see being posted on my Instagram, they're committed. They're committed to consistency. And that's why we win. And that's why we win big. And, you know, I'll document everything, right? Every month I'll share with you guys, and you guys will see it. Subscriber growth, view metrics, lead gen numbers, what actually matters, revenue attributed to YouTube, lessons learned, strategy adjustments. I'll do one of these at the end of every single month, just auditing everything. And then, you know, I'll create, yeah, these are the follow-up videos that show the results, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months. And if I hit my goal of 100K per month, I'll do a complete case study breakdown showing exactly how YouTube contributed to that growth. So anyways, if you're watching this and thinking, I want to do something similar for my business, I'm actually not going to pitch you, not yet, but I'm going to give you some value. Here's the key principles you can start with. You know, start with strategy, not just tactics. Don't start posting random content. Figure out your goals, your audience, and how your content fits into your business model. Like I showed you with the Grand thing, really with the Grand case study, really think, like, you know, about the journey that you're going to take your viewer through your videos, right? Solve your own objections first. Whatever's been holding you back from starting, address those obstacles systematically, aka just hire me so I can fucking force you to film. But yeah, study what works and make it better. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Take what's already working. And, you know, everyone says this, everyone does say this, but the reason they say it is because it's true. And then treat it like a business, right? Especially with tracking. Set up proper tracking, accountability measures, proper systems. Don't treat it like a hobby. Like, it has to be treated as something as part of your business. I know it seems very quick cookie clutter, but if you can just be consistent, if you can just post, and, you know, if you're watching this, you know, you already have an info product that's doing decently well, and, you know, that means you have knowledge that is valuable, that needs to be shared with the world. All you need to do is post consistently, all right? And then focus on your ideal client, right? Don't try to go viral just for the sake of going viral, right? Don't be a fucking retard. Be patient, but be persistent. It's a long-term game. Commit to at least 12 months. I'm being serious. Commit to at least 12 months of consistent effort. Like, honestly, I think if and I will be, and, you know, that's why I'm posting this video as a public commitment, and also my C-suite will hold me accountable. We live together in our fucking penthouse. If I don't do this, they'll probably make me sleep outside. But I know if I commit to this for at least 12 months, like, I'm not just making 100K per month. We're making a lot fucking more. Yeah. And then, you know, use content as sales assets, right? Every piece of content should serve your business goals, not just build awareness, right? These can be pre-call assets. Keep that in mind. And then, yeah, here's what I want from you guys, because I appreciate you guys watching this up until the end. I want you guys to hold me accountable to this plan. If you see me not posting consistently, call me out in the comments. If I'm not following the strategy I laid out in this video, let me know. And, you know, I want you guys, if you want to follow along this journey, make sure you subscribe, because, like I said, I'm going to document everything. You're going to see the wins, the failures, the pivots, and you're going to see the success, because I know we're going to win big. And then, you know, if you're inspired by this, you want to build your own strategic YouTube presence that actually makes you money, here's what you should do first. Go through the same process I showed you. Do your competitive research, find your unique positioning, plan your content strategy, set up the systems that will make you successful, time blocking, content pipelines, tracking, all of it. Third, commit to consistency. Pick a posting schedule you can actually maintain, stick to it for at least 6 months. And this is the part where I pitch you. If you want help implementing a strategy like this for your business, I do work with a select number of high-ticket info product sellers, course sellers. I love course sellers. We all love courses. We all love info. God bless info. To build YouTube systems that actually make money. Don't just get views, guys. Like, the link is in the description if you want to learn more about working together. It's a calendar link. You can book a time with me. We can have a chat. We can see if it's a good fit. And then, yeah. But whether you work with me or do this yourself, like, the key is just being strategic and consistent, right? That separates channels that actually make money from the ones that get views. And, you know, it's 2026, guys. Now you really do need a personal brand. So anyway, yeah, I don't know why the fuck that was repeated there, but thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video where we actually start executing this plan. Hope you found value from it, and yeah, let's fucking rip.